In the north, you think of the highway as being a lifeline. This is your connection to the outside world. It goes through some of the most beautiful wilderness anywhere in the world. Majestic mountains, powerful rivers, magnificent lakes. It's one of the few places in the world where nature is more important than humanity, where nature is more evident than humanity, where you feel small.
Planned for months with brilliant cunning, favored by our lack of readiness, with the sky and sea all their own, at 7:55 a.m., hell broke loose. Man-made hell, made in Japan.
The day that they had bombed Pearl Harbor, wow, what a day.
The Alaskans were afraid that the Japanese submarines would do to coastal shipping between the lower 48 and Alaska what the German submarines were doing to shipping to Britain. In order to ensure the safe delivery of war and other materials to Alaska, the Americans deemed that it would be a good idea to build a highway connecting the North American road grid to Alaska.
We're busy. Canada's commitment on a per capita basis to the Second World War was much, much larger than the United States. Canada had been involved from starting in 1939. This is the third year of our war effort. We were really committed to it in a way that much, much, much greater than the United States was until almost the end of the war. So Canada was strapped. Canada didn't have the money and resources. We were fully committed to going over in Europe. We could not say no to the Americans. So Canada's only requirement for the United States was, don't expect us to pay. The highway exists for completely different audiences. It's a transit route, it's an adventure, it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip for one group of people. And for somebody else, it's absolutely the core of their existence.
Yesterday we put in a 16-hour day, 16 hours on a bike. It goes by all right. It's the senior that really kind of brings it home for us.
I think a lot about the guys who built the road, and I know some guys died up here and putting the road in, and all their stories and their history, and wondering, you know, what they were thinking when they were right here in this spot. You know, I've been thinking about that quite a bit.
The thing you have to realize about race 65 years ago is that even well-meaning people wrote about racial matters in ways that would be completely unacceptable now.
There was no one there but us. My whole tour up there of 11 months, I only saw one Indian. And I did see, after we had the road built, one lady came through in an automobile. So that's about what we saw during my time up there.
Didn't really give them machinery. I mean, because they didn't think black people could run machinery then. And I think their motto for the 97th was, the difficult we do now, the impossible takes a little while longer, something like that.
When it got cold, it was a question of survival.
Some fellows died, and how many died, I really don't know. It's one of those things about how do you report death in the Army.
He once said, you know, we used to have to hide our food sometimes, bury our food, because sometimes the white soldiers would take their food away from them.
You don't exist. You didn't exist before the war, and you don't exist now while we're in a war.
This highway is one of the most unique highways in the world. It's an adventure. It's an access point to some of the most remarkable territory in the world. And it has this heritage of being built during the Second World War that casts it with a sort of almost a mythical glow, a proof of the capacity of democratic nations to rally in their own defense, a proof of what the United States is capable of and willing to do to make sure that it defends itself against the enemy. And so it casts this almost sort of mythical sort of fog over the entire Northwest.